Good evening, Bahamas. You're tuned into NB12 Weekend, broadcasting from Cable 12 Studios on Robinson Road. Coming up tonight in news, the F&M deputy leader says something's not right about Bahama's Junkanoo Carnival. This as the culture minister begs Bahamians to give the event a chance. A man is stabbed to death on Grand Bahama. What you can do to contain the stray cat population on the island. Plus, if you don't have Super Bowl plans, one hotel has done it all for you. I'm Paige McCartney, and we've got those stories and more straight ahead on NB12 Weekend. Welcome once again to NB12. Amid mounting criticism of Bahama's Junkanoo Carnival, the deputy leader of the Free National Movement says it's clear something is not right. Peter Turnquest told NB12 the Christie administration's festival plans seem to be filled with challenges, and the whole idea doesn't appear to be well thought out. Pointing to the Christian Council's carnival concerns and the resignations of 3 Carnival Commission members, Turnquest said he's deeply concerned and government must provide answers. Dana Smith reports.
Something is amiss with government's multi-million-dollar Junkanoo Carnival plan, according to F&M Deputy Leader Peter Turnquest, who said this whole carnival affair is questionable. Pointing to the recent resignations of 3 Carnival Commission members, Turnquest said it's time for government to get the public answers on what exactly is going on.
When you have at least 2 of the most ardent supporters of Carnival resigning, it has to say to you that something is amiss, something is not right. And we certainly are looking forward to an adequate explanation of why they would have resigned. I think all around, this whole affair of Carnival continues to be questionable. And as I said at the outset, we have to take these resignations very seriously and look into the affair to ensure that the reasons for their resigning are all above board, that there's nothing untoward occurring in that commission.
Festival Commission members Ed Fields, Freddie Munnings Jr., and Inga Boleg all resigned more than a year after their appointments. Munnings said he resigned because of interference by political operatives and certain ministers of government. He said he was frustrated by the undermining and disrespect from the political directorate. On Wednesday, outspoken Tall Pines MP Leslie Miller dubbed Junkanoo Carnival garbage and said he understands some of the top guys are spending money like drunken sailors. Miller later apologized for his remarks and said he spoke out of ignorance, but Turnquest said Miller's comments about money being spent recklessly raises concerns.
His quote that they're spending, the Junkanoo or the Carnival Commission is spending money like drunken sailors. It raises significant concerns for all of us, I think, because here we are not only talking about importing a foreign culture, but we're now moving on into the realm of wasting precious government resources, spending the Bahamian people's money on promoting something that at this point doesn't look to be organized.
Over the past week, Junkanoo Carnival has been heavily criticized, not only by Miller, but by a number of Bahamian artists, including Kirkland K.B. Bodie, who said he hopes the festival fails. The Bahamas Christian Council has also voiced concerns. The council said Junkanoo Carnival would encourage promiscuity, fornication, rape, incest, and other sins of the flesh. The council said it would seem women's sexuality is being overtly exploited for monetary gain. Turnquest also expressed concern about exploitation, explaining he hopes the artistic community respects the boundaries of decency.
I think all of us would have some concern with respect to the potential for exploitation. We want to make sure that our young women, young men are certainly not promoted in a non-wholesome kind of way. And so, I would leave it there only to say and trust that the artistic community will respect the boundaries of taste and decency in whatever exhibition of their interpretation of this culture.
Turnquist said if government is willing to spend millions on Junkanoo Carnival, why not simply invest that money in Junkanoo? He asserted the Bahamas should not be a copycat.
This whole idea seems to have been not well thought out. It seems to want to copycat something that is not ours. If we're going to spend $9 million, I put it to the Bahamian government that if they were to spend a quarter of that, just a quarter of that, promoting Junkanoo properly, we can turn our Junkanoo festivals into an even bigger event than the traditional carnival in one of these known cities.
Responding to Junkanoo Carnival criticisms on Thursday, Prime Minister Perry Christie said Carnival provides an avenue for artists to showcase their talents, and now is the time to bring a festival that has the potential to bring significant economic benefits. Reporting for NB12 Weekend, I'm Dana Smith.
And as Carnival organizers scramble to nail down a pop superstar for the festival, Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture Danny Johnson is reiterating that whatever international act is bagged for the Junkanoo Carnival Festival, that performer will not overshadow local artists.
To be honest with you, we are Bahamians, us, our people, we're the headline. We are the real act. People come to the Bahamas really now to see what makes us different than the rest of the world.
In fact, Johnson is of the view that the negative attention Junkanoo Carnival has received in recent weeks will have little influence on its ability to attract the thousands of tourists government is banking on to make the festival a success. Johnson said he expected some skepticism.
We encourage, and I like public debate on major issues. The culture is a major issue. It deepens your democracy. You want to let people's voices be heard, whatever their voices are, their positions might be. We want to see that. It advances the democratic process. We want people to know that it is the government of the Bahamas that took the position that we would not put a headline ahead of our indigenous music. It is the government who took that position. I want to be very clear with people on that. We've never done this before, and so we're taking in the best of ideas. We have the best talent on the table, and we're going to do the best that we can to make everyone proud to be Bahamian. We saw the same thing last year with World Relays. People were so unsure coming into the World Relays. How could they spend, $10 million on this event? Yada yada yada. In the first 48 hours, we got about $10 million worth of advertising worldwide. World Relays is still playing all around the world.
Government anticipates an economic impact of $23 million as a result of Bahamas Junkanoo Carnival and the supplemental events associated with it. Tourism Minister Obi Wilchcombe said earlier this week that he would ensure significantly less than the $10 million budgeted for the event is spent. Johnson said while he believes that can be done, the initial investment would be paid for when Junkanoo Carnival is a done deal.
I don't want people to get caught up with, oh my Lord, we're going to spend a couple $1 million. We did about just over $10 million in expenditure for World Relays. We had an economic impact of 23. So all of the things with these major events, culture, sports, art, entertainment, they pay for themselves. If they're not going to pay for themselves, we wouldn't do it. And we're locking these things in for 5-10-year runs where you really see them become profitable enterprises. And so I'm not perturbed by the budget exercise. The guys that we use, they always come in on time and under budget, always come in on time and under budget.
The Youth, Sports and Culture Minister said he understands why Bahamians are confused, but is asking that they give Junkanoo Carnival a chance before dooming it to failure.
It'll be fair and balanced, and the whole presentation for the entire month will be something that Bahamians will be proud of, and we'll see how good we are compared to the rest of the world, because all the world will be watching.
And in other news tonight, police on Grand Bahama investigating the country's 10th homicide of the year. Police say an elderly man was stabbed to death at Bimini Place in Hawksbill. Police have taken a male relative into custody in connection with that incident. Investigations continue. And following complaints raised by North Eleuthera Member of Parliament Theo Neely last week about the state of schools in his constituency, Minister of Education Jerome Fitzgerald said addressing those concerns is a top priority of his ministry. However, there are some challenges.
The challenge in these family-owned communities is that there's not that much land available to put schools or to add. And before we do, we don't just go and do it. We'd like to make sure we have the buy-in from the community. The same thing applies for Gregory Town, where the hurricane had damaged the school before we came in office. And we went to repair it. It cost over $400,000 to repair it. And the decision was made that every time a hurricane comes through, we continue to put hundreds of thousands of dollars into that small school that sits out there on the cliff. So we need to bring it inland and find another location.
In addition to the high cost of repairing the schools or building new ones, Fitzgerald said there are issues in finding locations for new facilities. He said that's where residents on that island have to step in.
We had committed to add additional school block. We're going to have a meeting with the community in the middle of February. I think it's February 13th. We'll be having a meeting there to discuss the plans to build on a property we had located. There was some in the community who were not in total agreement with the location.
Fitzgerald said the plan is to build at least one more new school in the next budget year.
In Gregory Town itself, there was no property available that the government owned. We looked at a private sector and told the people in Gregory Town, if there's a piece available, the government will build on that and buy the land. We didn't have. We located a spot outside of Gregory Town, but communities don't like to travel far to go to school, so the challenge was there.